ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। प्रातः स्मरामि हृदि स्फुरदात्मतत्त्वम् सच्चित्सुखं परमहंसगतिं तुरीयम् यत्स्वप्नजागर सुषुप्तमवेति नित्यम् तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमहं न च भूतसङ्घः तपोभिक्षीणपापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्षोऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते। बोधोऽन्यस्साधनेभ्यो हि साक्षान्मोक्षैकसाधनं पाकस्य वह्निवज्ञानं विना मोक्षो न सिद्ध्यति अविरोधितया कर्म नाविद्यां विनिवर्तयेत् विद्या विद्यां निहन्त्येव तेजस्तिमिरसङ्घवत् परिच्छिन्न इवा ज्ञानात् तन्नाशे सति केवलः स्वयं प्रकाशते ह्यात्मा मेघापायेषुमानिव अज्ञानकलुषं जीवं ज्ञानाभ्यासाद् विनिर्मलं कृत्वा ज्ञानं स्वयं नश्येत् जलं कतकरेणुवत् संसारस्वप्नतुल्यो हि रागद्वेषादिसङ्कुलः स्वकाले सत्यवद्भाति प्रबोधे सत्यसद्भवेत् तावत् सत्यं जगद्भाति शुक्तिकारजतं यथा यावन्न ज्ञायते ब्रह्मा सर्वाधिष्ठानमद्वयम् उपादानेऽखिलाधारे जगन्ति परमेश्वरे सर्गस्थितिलयान् यान्ति बुद्बुदानीव वारिणि सच्चिदात्मन्यनुस्यूते नित्ये विष्णौ प्रकल्पिताः व्यक्तयो विविधाः सर्वा हाटके कटकादिवत् यथा काशो हृषीकेशो नानोपाधिगतो विभुः तद्भेदाद्भिन्नवद्भाति तन्नाशे केवलो भवेत् नानोपाधिवशादेव जातिवर्णाश्रमादयः आत्मन्यारोपितास्तो ये रसवर्णादिभेदवत् पञ्चीकृतमहाभूत सम्भवं कर्म सञ्चितं शरीरं सुखदुःखानां भोगायतनमुच्यते पञ्च प्राणमनो बुद्धिः दशेन्द्रियसमन्वितम् अपञ्चीकृतभूतोत्थं सूक्ष्माङ्गं भोगसाधनम् अनाद्यविद्यानिर्वाच्य कारणोपाधिरुच्यते उपाधित्रिदयादन्य आत्मानमवधारयेत् पञ्चकोशादियोगेन तत्तन्मय इव स्थितः शुद्धात्मा नीलवस्त्रादि योगेन स्फटिको यथा वपुस्तुषादिभिः कोशैः युक्तं युक्त्यावघाततः आत्मानमन्तरं शुद्धं विविच्यातण्डुलं यथा सदा सर्वगतोऽप्यात्मा न सर्वत्रावभासते बुद्ध्या वेवावभासेत स्वच्छेषु प्रतिबिम्बवत् देहेन्द्रियमनोबुद्धिः प्रकृतिभ्यो विलक्षणं तद्वृत्तिसाक्षिणं विद्यात् आत्मानं राजवत्सदा व्यापृतेष्विन्द्रियेष्वात्मा व्यापारी वा विवेकिनां दृश्यते भ्रेषु धावत्सु धावन्निव यथा शशी आत्मचैतन्यमाश्रित्य देहेन्द्रियमनोधियः स्वक्रियार्थेषु वर्तन्ते सूर्यलोकं यथा जनाः देहेन्द्रियगुणान् कर्मान् अमले सच्चिदात्मनि अध्यस्त्यन्त्यविवेकेन गगने नीलतादिवत् अज्ञानान्मानसोपाधेः कर्तृत्वादीनि चात्मनि कल्प्यन्तेऽम्बुगते चन्द्रे चलनादि यथाम्बसः रागेच्छासुखदुःखादि बुद्धौ सत्यां प्रवर्तते सुषुप्तौ नास्ति तन्नाशे तस्माद् बुद्धेस्तु नात्मनः प्रकाशोऽर्कस्य तो यस्य शैत्यमग्नेर्यथोष्णता स्वभावः सच्चिदानन्द नित्यनिर्मलतात्मनः आत्मानः सच्चिदंशश्च बुद्धेर्वृत्तिरिति द्वयम् संयोज्य च विवेकेन जानामीति प्रवर्तते आत्मनो विक्रिया नास्ति बुद्धेर्बोधो न जात्विति जीवः सर्वमलं ज्ञात्वा ज्ञाता द्रष्टेति मुह्यति रज्जु सर्पवदात्मानं जीवं ज्ञात्वा भयं वहेत् नाहं जीवः परात्मेति ज्ञातं चेन्निर्भयो भवेत् आत्मावभासयत्येको बुद्ध्यादीनीन्द्रियाण्यपि दीपो घटत्तिव स्वात्मा जडैस्तैर्नावभास्यते स्वबोधेनान्यबोधे च बोधरूपतयात्मनः न दीपस्यान्यदीपे च यथा स्वात्मप्रकाशने निषिध्य निखिलोपाधिः नेति नेतीति वाक्यतः विद्यादैक्यं महावाक्यैः जीवात्मपरमात्मनोः. That's it. Were you all able to see the screen?
Yes, Brahmaraji.
Okay.
Video. धन्यवाद Brahmaraji. So we completed verse 27, right? I will just read one paragraph, and 28 we have to start.
Yeah, you can do 27. Can you go to 27 once?
Yeah, this one. Shall I repeat 27?
No, yeah, I think 27 we'll do one more time.
Okay. रज्जु सर्ववदात्मानं जीवो ज्ञात्वा भयं वहेत् नाहं जीवः परात्मेति ज्ञानश्चेन्निर्भयो भवेत् ज्ञानश्चेन्निर्भयो भवेत् रज्जु सर्पवत like a serpent in a rope, Atmanam, one's Jivaha, the ego, Jnatva, considering Bhayam, fear. Om Namo Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. Kindly Vahet carries or is overcome, na, not, aham, I, Jivaha, the individuality or the ego, Paratma, the supreme self. Iti, thus, Jnatah, having understood, Chet, if, Nirbhayaha, fearless, Bhavet, can be. Rajju Sarpavata Atmanam, Jivaha Jnatva, Bhayam Vahet, Na, Aham Jivaha, Paratma, Iti, Jnatah, Chet, Nirbhayaha, Bhavet. Just as the person who regards a rope as a snake is overcome by fear, so also one considering oneself as the ego, jiva, is overcome by fear. The egocentric individuality in us regains fearlessness by realizing that it is not a jiva but is itself the supreme soul. The superimposition of a snake vision on a rope takes place only when the existence of the rope is not perceived. Once a misapprehension starts, it multiplies itself in its own imaginations into 1,000 baseless notions, and the individual, under his own delusions, suffers the consequences thereof. Just as the vision of the snake gives us perceptions of the details of the snake, the pain of its bite, the fear of the death that will be caused by the snake on the rope. In the non-apprehension of the self, the misapprehension of the gross physical body, mind, etc., are perceived as real, and in this misunderstanding, the confused ego is born to suffer its own illusory sorrows. We are not the limited individuality as we take ourselves to be. There is a limitless region of experience beyond what is known at present, and this is shut out from us because of our self-centered existence. When the realization of the true nature of the self comes to one, even as mere theoretical knowledge, he who was till then in a perpetual state of fear and sorrow seems to wake up from his own limited existence and rediscovers himself to be the blissful self which is all pervading and eternal. This is the takeaway. I read once again the last 2, 3 lines. When the realization of the true nature of the self comes to one, even as mere theoretical knowledge, he who was till then in a perpetual state of fear and sorrow seems to wake up from his own limited existence and rediscovers himself to be the blissful self which is all pervading and eternal. If and when thereafter there is an outward cognition of any experience, such a Mahatman of self realization cannot but see the same matter equipments of experiences which were before his own, singing the eternal song of life.
Can you just repeat this last paragraph, Villa?
Yeah, yeah. If and when thereafter there is an outward cognition of any experience, such a Mahatman of self realization cannot but see the same matter equipments of experiences which were before his own, singing the eternal song of life. So, even if the knowledge is not experiential, it is just theoretical, but the rediscovery of the infinite self will bring end to the sufferings. Yeah, kindly share your takeaways. As long as we are unaware of the reality of the rope, we continue to live in that limited life of Jivatma. My family, my joy, my sorrow, the self-centered existence. But once the realization, although it is theoretical, once that understanding comes, realization comes, there is always an end. And yesterday, Brahmaraji shared beautiful. The one who knows the self very well, he can take care of every relationship with the outer world in a natural way. It just happens.
What is even more reassuring is here, as Swamiji mentions, even if you know it theoretically, that is, even if you do not have the aparokshanubhuti, even if the very knowledge that the self is above all of this itself is very liberating. It frees one from that the clutches of the limited ego sense. See, when all is going fine, you're happy. But then when faced with some challenges or some misery, that is when you start feeling low and then start getting into the negative spiral. So in both cases, both in situations where you're highly successful, achieving, as well as when you're in your lows, This knowledge will, this knowledge that the self is beyond all of this, is what will keep us grounded and centered.
Yeah, even the that example in the previous shloka, Swamiji beautifully had given the example of the ghost on the post. Once you realize that it is just a post, there will be no fear. And the one who is realized, he sees the same in and through in the whole creation. For him, the whole Jagat is Paramatma. So he will be singing the eternal song of life in whichever situation he is in. Shall I read ahead if no one wants to share?
Yeah.
आत्मा आत्मावभासयत्येको बुद्ध्यादीनीन्द्रियाण्यपि आत्मावभासयत्येको बुद्ध्यादीनीन्द्रियाण्यपि दीपो घटादिवत् स्वात्मा जडैस्तैर्नावभास्यते Atma, the self, avabhasayati, illumines, ekah, single, buddhyadini, intellect, etc., indriyani, sense organs, api, also, deepaha, lamp, ghatadivat, like the pots, etc., svatma, itself, jadaihi, inert, taihi, by themselves, na, not, avabhasyate, illumined. आत्मा अवभासयति एकः बुद्ध्यादीनि इन्द्रियाणि अपि दीपः घटादिवत् स्वात्मा जडैः तैः न अवभास्यते. Just as a lamp illumines a jar or pot, so also the Atman illumines the mind and the sense organs, etc. These material objects by themselves cannot illumine themselves because they are inert. I repeat, just as a lamp illumines a jar or pot, so also the Atman illumines the mind and the sense organs, etc. These material objects by themselves cannot illumine themselves because they are inert. The street lamp is a silent, unperturbed witness of all that happens under its light, whether it is a marriage procession or a funeral march. The light, unmoved by the feelings of joy or sorrow, sheds its glow on all those that come under it. I repeat, the street lamp is a silent, unperturbed witness of all that happens under its light, whether it is a marriage procession or a funeral march. The light, unmoved by the feelings of joy or sorrow, sheds its glow on all those that come under it. The postman is unconcerned with the nature and contents of the communication he delivers to the addressee. In fact, we ourselves are unconcerned with the different experiences of a co passenger when we get into a train or bus, and we never consider his loss or gain as our own, although we may sympathize with his lot and help him. The sorrow is only illumined by us. I repeat the last example. In fact, we ourselves are unconcerned with the different experiences of a co passenger when we get into a train or bus, and we never consider his loss or gain as our own, although we may sympathize with his lot and help him. The sorrow is only illumined by us. The self in us is the one illuminating factor, the pure awareness which alone illumines both the good and the bad in us at all times. I repeat, the self in us is the one illuminating factor, the pure awareness which alone illumines both the good and the bad in us at all times. What mind does not comprehend, but what makes the mind cognize, know that to be Brahman and not what people worship, says the Upanishad, the one power on account of which the physical activities and the mental yearnings and intellectual throbbings become vivid and living for us. There is a footnote. Refer Swamiji's discourse on Kenopanishad. So I repeat once again. The self in us is the one illuminating factor, the pure awareness, which alone illumines both the good and the bad in us at all times. What mind does not comprehend, but what makes the mind cognize, know that to be Brahman and not what people worship, says the Upanishad, the one power on account of which the physical activities and the mental yearnings and intellectual throbbings become vivid and living for us. The matter combinations may vary in their endless variety, in their strength, vitality, and energy, but the one spirit which through all these different The matter combinations may vary in their endless variety, in their strength, vitality, and energy, but the one spirit which through all these different manifestations of matter does not change at all is the one and only glory which gives the glitter of a show to the entire Jagat, a lively show indeed. So beautiful. I read last line once again. I think it is a reply to Mrinalji's question about the various apparatus. The matter combinations may vary in their endless variety, in their strength, vitality, and energy. But the one spirit, which through all these different manifestations of matter does not change at all, is the one and only glory which gives the glitter of a show to the entire Jagat, a lively show indeed. So the projector is the one only, that energy, the spirit which is in and through the whole creation is one only. And so beautifully the examples are given, like the postman is unconcerned whether the letter he carries contain the good news or the bad news. And the second example of the lamp, which is giving the light, whoever is passing under it, whether it is a marriage procession or the funeral procession. It gives the same light. So whatever experiences we go through in life, good or bad, there is only one illuminating fact, and that is Brahman.
Jai Gurudev. Um, my question was, or in fact, the realization that mm, the Brahman is the illumines or glitters the Jagat or all the apparatuses, and he's the one, the material has come into existence. But the material, though it has come, we cannot say the material is Brahman, right? Though the plant life, the animal life has come from because of sun, and it exists because of sunlight. I cannot say plant is sun or the material is sun. And the thing was like the doership, right? I was talking about the doership. Some things plants do, animals cannot do. Or what I do, maybe what Brahma is, she is doing, everything I cannot do or I don't do it. That was the thing, like taking doership. But it is happening. I mean, just recognizing that these are different varieties of material and those might exhibit different things. This is what I was saying. Taking doership because Brahman is inactive. He is not taking part in any of these activities, though he is the life giver. Without the sun, we will not survive. Absolutely right. But material has come out of it, but we material is not him, right? This is what I was trying to say. Though through him we have come, but I'm not that.
Yeah, I mean, just wanted to find out. I mean, material.
Apparent actually.
Like again, your what do I say that like human beings or maybe the animals have some consciousness, right? But then when you say that other materials, they are not conscious beings, but still the Brahman is in and through everything. Everything. It doesn't, I
Yeah,
mean, all the
because
matter.
because
And
that rope is there, you can imagine the snake, na? Like that, this whole appearance of animals or human beings or everything is apparent and it is changing continuously. Everything is that whole thing which comes under Maya is constantly changing, constantly changing. This, if we can catch it up, no? Yeah, definitely. Every bulb has different color, different power, different wattage. So it will show different patterns, different colors, different strength, light. But end of the day, they are all apparent things, and they will be changing. They you cannot destroy it, but it will change its form. Forms are continuously changing, and they are apparent, and they are in the flux of continuous impermanence. And that is why there is no point in holding on to anything over here, because we are also going to end one day, our body, our whole this thing. And one or the other day we must go back to the completely, we have to merge with the Brahman. The moment we keep our identity as separate or something, then again we will have to come back to experience the same thing, because then in the mind, the small, some experiences, some people, some events, they hold on to you so much that they will push you again to experience the similar things. And you are right that potency of everything is different. And capacity given to one ant and the capacity of elephant, you cannot compare it. But the light through it, the Brahman through it is same. One light is only working
Yeah,
through
sorry,
everything.
I must have missed.
Yeah.
I must have missed because the internet was low and I couldn't hear. Sorry for that, but I'll listen to the recording. No worries. It
Can
is
you
like,
hear me?
no, yeah, we can hear you, Manana. Coming back to this verse, we actually are a create. We are the creator. We go through this cycle every night. When we sleep, we create the dream, and the dream is because of us. If I was not there, there is no dream. That's the concept.
So beautiful. It was so beautiful to listen it from Gurudev, because exactly I was going through La Madhvacharya. He did say about it, right? The question I had and the understanding I had. And I was struggling through it, uh, because there are two theories here. Like we we keep saying that I am the jiva who's
Can you
ignorant.
show the sloka, Balaji?
The sloka that show me the sloka also. What the sloka is. Sorry, I joined He
later.
did mention about the Madhvacharya's theory, and which gave me solace, because this is what understanding right now I have. And then he said, slowly you will get into Advaita. That was such a sweet thing, that because I was
In
really
today,
giving a lot of thought on this. I think yesterday's satsang only he was talking about it.
I okay.
Yeah, two birds, and one is observing and one is eating. So the one jiva who is into activity, though being energized by the Brahman, he is just a witness. And that is what the realization I have got right now, because total understanding about the thing. There is no confusion over here. But then I have I'm just thinking, like, if he's all knower, if he's the Brahman, he in the sense, we keep saying that in fact the superimposition of Atma on the material, that is what trying we are trying to do it right now. At least I'm doing trying to do it. Like the Brahman, which is all
we have
knower, all
yeah. So
knowledge,
yeah,
all knowledge, I'm trying to see which is agyana here, ignorance here. I'm trying to superimpose that Atma, which is all knower, on the Ajnana. This is we are trying to do. This is what I was feeling.
no, I think
But
it's not
only because of the knowledge
superimposing.
we come too close to it, at least. Because of the knowledge, even if it is Ajnana coming through us, we are the product of Ajnana or Avidya, and it is all Sakshi. Atma is all Sakshi, and we are the product of Avidya, and we are at least because of the knowledge going to the close. So he said also in yesterday in the satsang, only knowledge will bring you to this level.
We cannot say superimposing Brahman on this. In a way, it seems like that, but we are actually reassociating with the true nature because that
But then again, when there is so much of knowledge, when he's illuminating everything, he is the knowledge. Then how this Agyana exists, when we keep saying that it
we're going back
exists?
to the question of which came first, egg or
Yes,
the
that's
chicken.
what, until that,
So
yes,
rather
that's
than
what
go
is
that
happening.
route, that's what is
Yeah,
happening. We're going in circles, right?
correct,
So
correct.
rather than go that route, when you're getting those doubts, coming back to the fact that there is only Advaita, correct?
Mm,
Right now we are in Dvaita. We have you and
yes,
different from
yes,
me.
correct.
I feel different from Atman. I don't see that oneness, right? So
Mm,
that
mm,
Dvaita is there. But
mm,
from that Dvaita, the journey is to merge in the Advaita.
correct.
For that, we have all the scriptures.
Mm,
And they're saying, and it's our experience also in our deep sleep, you do not have the question of Dvaita there. There is only oneness. Do you have a difference? Do you even identify your own matter equipment? Do you identify where you're sleeping? Are you sleeping in a
But
palace or in a hut?
but
Don't
Brahmaraji,
know.
but Brahmaraji, yesterday, because of this sleep example, I was thinking, was that a self or it was a tamas? Because that
See,
was
that
not the
is tamas.
quality of the.
That is correct. That is, we are in the Karana Sharira still, no doubt.
Huh.
We've not gone into that. It's still, we're just in that Anandamaya Kosha, still covered by that
Hmm.
Avarana of Avidya. That is there. But at
Hmm.
least we get a glimpse. That is a
Glimpse.
glimpse of where you have
Hmm.
disidentified yourself with the rest of the world, the rest of your own body, mind, and intellect equipment. Still, you're experiencing that Ananda. So, what our journey is to remove even that veil of avidya that is covering us.
And there has been the mention of the reflection of the Brahman in our Manachakshu. But it is not, because every time we have been reading this, it's been said that it's a reflection. It
Yes,
has
that is
never
the.
been said. It
Hmm.
has never been said it is that which is illuminine. I don't know that concept. I'm not getting it very well. Mm, if it is a reflection, then how can that be? Like, the reflection in the mirror is not me, right? It's just a reflection. It has thrown light on my face, and I can see it in the mirror. That is how we are going to see the Brahman, because then how it is me then? When we say Tattvamasi, then how it is me? It's just the reflection, not me.
No, it is the
No,
these
because of
matter
the reflection
equipments.
of consciousness, you feel it be the consciousness.
Yeah, you
Because of that.
see, in total darkness, there is nothing visible. It is only in the light of the sun or a lamp, everything gets visible. So that is what is meant by that reflection of the light. But it doesn't mean, um, so I mean, that is the reflected aspect of it. And that is again re, re-emphasized in this example, where the pot is cannot illumine itself. It is only the lamp within that even makes that pot visible, isn't it? It is only reflected light. If you look at physics, how is any object visible to the naked eye? It is because of light that gets reflected onto the object, comes back and hits your eye, and you're able to perceive it,
Yeah, but am I
isn't it?
that light?
You are that light. We are that light.
Yeah, I
See,
mean,
Hariom.
see, because of these examples, what is happening is I'm taking things very literally. I get that also. So,
yeah, that is what Nana
that
had
is
said.
what is,
I had
yeah,
questioned that
because
example of
I'm
that
taking
dark room.
everything very literally,
No,
and then I'm missing out the real point.
yeah,
uh, and I'm struggling to cognize that which is cannot be cognized by our buddhi. That also I'm getting, but with these examples everybody's saying, of course, with the due respect, and sorry for my not understanding these things, and that's why I keep asking such people might be feeling, what stupid questions I am asking, but then these questions are popping up because things I am reading between the lines. I'm reading the sentence literally. I'm not taking that just as an example, because I cannot cognize with these examples the real thing.
yeah. These examples, what Nana said, even I had this doubt about that pool of water and the sunlight reflecting into the dark room. I tried to kind of correlate that with what we have going through right now. He said you cannot take these examples literally. They're given as indicators. But if you want to directly correlate one is to one, you might end up in a bit of confusion. So we just
Absolutely, that is what is happening, because see,
and move on.
all said and done, yes, the waves arise in the ocean, merge in the ocean, but a single wave, we cannot equate it to ocean, right? It has a different shape other than ocean. the amount of water it has, it is, though it is merging, and wave does not have to
But
make an effort to merge himself. We have to
correct,
go through this knowledge.
correct. That
We
is
have
true.
to struggle.
Very good that you brought the wave example, because that was what is in my mind also. Is the wave cannot say I'm the ocean, right?
Yes.
But there is nothing. Sorry, the wave cannot say I exist independently of the ocean.
No, not at all.
It
I
cannot.
have this total understanding that
Yeah.
I am dependent on that energy. So,
So
total understanding about the Dvaita Bhava right now. Total understanding. There is no two ways that I don't say that me as as a jiva existence is independent of Brahman. No, that total understanding is there. But that Advaita Bhav is not, I haven't got it yet. The understanding also
I
I
think
haven't got it yet.
I have not got it also. So we're all in the
Jai Gurudev.
process of moving from Dvaita to Advaita. So this thing, what Swamiji said earlier in the earlier shloka, even a theoretical knowledge of this, that you, the self, are the changeless entity and the one that is illumining all of this, will relieve you of getting stuck in this, in the limited knowledge that I am a limited person. I am alpajnaha, kinchignaha. So this knowledge is liberating. And I think that is what, see, that we will not understand everything in one go. Slowly, little by little, with jnana abhyasa, it gets clearer and clearer. So I think that little leeway we have to give ourselves. And we should not say, oh, I'm not understanding. Maybe it's not working for me. Those doubts will crop up. No, we should just let them be and just go forward with the faith that, yes, eventually things will get clear. For myself, I can talk of myself. And I think it's the same with everybody else here. Compared to how it was 2 years ago, or even several years down the line, to what it is now, there's a whole lot of clarity. In fact, at one
Yes,
point, I had this confusion. I said, Gurudev, you're giving us so many things now. I'm so confused. I don't know what is the purpose? Where am I going? I want to get liberated, but what is the path? Clear the path. So that clarity has kind of come right now. And I think it's the same with everybody else as well. So that little, it'll take time. Shanai, it'll happen.
Brahmanaji, for wave, it doesn't have its own existence, but it when it merges, it becomes ocean. So it is a part of ocean. Like that, the self is, we cannot say I am a self, but when we merge like that, we become a self, like a ocean in a
We,
wave
we are
doesn't
the
have.
self. See,
Yeah.
if you look at
So
the nature of the wave, the
mhm.
wave has a
It has a
nama
little
rupa. Here again,
existence. Yeah, a
yeah,
little
we have those
existence for
five
some time.
things, no? Yeah.
Hmm.
Nama rupa, asti bhati priti, nama rupa.
Yeah.
So we are just getting caught in that nama rupa,
Yeah.
whereas asti bhati priti is the true nature of that water. Water is that essential nature of the wave. We are leaving that. We're holding on to the wave identity, whether we are a small wave or a big wave, a tsunami wave, and we are identifying with that, the wave, and then we're saying, oh, I am doing this, I am
No,
this.
no,
That,
no. That
so,
that understanding I have right now.
hmm,
But we are trying to make a connection, saying that wave is ocean, the bubble is uh, the water body. That connection, I'm not yet that clear. I mean, clarity is not
I
there
think,
yet.
yeah, here
But it
one
doesn't have
example,
existence because only it
one
doesn't have
example
existence.
I want to give. One example I want to give. For that, no, that expansion you should feel within when up to our own experiences through the mind, and then seeing the things through our intellect in the limited form everywhere around us and within us, that limits us, and that doesn't allow you to experience the vastness of the ocean. So going beyond that limits, where the guru and all these techniques help us. See, we lose that smallness when we sit for the meditation. We lose that smallness when we are so much into seva, doing much more bigger projects, and then you realize, oh, it was not me. How did it happen? So that helps you to expand yourself, and then, oh, something much more bigger I am then this small things through my own mind, my own experiences, my own lineage of the family, and all these associations. Much more beyond that, something is happening through me in the society. That expansion, expanded consciousness more and more when we experience, that will help you to transform from that just wave to the ocean experiences. I think so. It will help somewhere. That is why this platform is created, no whole platform, where you can expand, extend yourself up to a limitlessness beyond your capacities. Means limitations of mind, limitations of physical existence, limitation of our intellect. Intellect also, what we use our intellect up to the limited, whatever the experiences have come through the mind, through the senses and mind, just it is trying to judge and give the what is right for you, what is wrong for you, but in a very limited sphere. That also, when you break that limitation and go beyond, then the bigger mind, bigger intellect drives you, and then you say, aha, oh ho, and that aho niranjana happens. Jai Gurudev.
Yeah, very right. Once you have that self realization, only then you would be thinking yourself to be as one with Brahma. Until then, you will have that feeling inside you, because you are taking yourself to be separate from him. So to reach that point of self realization, it will take many janmas and much more time. We don't know, but as we are on this path, so
You can also
we
get it
one day.
athirena adhigachati.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
required for several janmas. Huh? So you never know. You can just
yeah.
get enlightened like that.
But
So
we are walking on this path, so we will reach maybe
of course,
late
that
or
is guaranteed. See,
yeah.
that we are on the train now, that we are on the plane, we are certainly going to reach destination. That is without any doubt.
Brahmaraji, because of this
When
reflection, you want to continue?
huh?
Because of this reflection thing is coming up. I have a question. Like Gurudev many times says, "Na, you are reflection of others."
Mm,
So now that also again, because we see other as a different, but we are same at one level. So we are reflection that way. Or we can say mirror image. We are the mirror image only. But we are not same.
yeah. Sometimes we might just get caught up in this jungle of words.
Yes,
So just
that is
getting
what has
back into
happened.
silence, in just
Yeah,
getting back into silence
that's
will help.
true.
No?
Yes.
Otherwise, we get
Lord,
caught up when there's so many concepts.
correct. That is what has happened to me, because I want to at least understand uh, it intellectually. Experientially, it might take time, but I felt that okay, let me at least understand. Like the last paragraph, it says, right? Knowing even that, uh, yeah, this understanding will that also will come. No worries. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you
yeah.
so much for all your help.
It will happen.
Yes.
China's favorite Subhashitani. So
Mm.
don't worry and don't judge yourself. Questions come up, and it's important to get that clarity.
Yeah.
So no judging questions as good question, bad question. Every question is a question. The only thing is, it should not, like Nana said, should not sidestep the path where we are going on. Sometimes
Not
they may be
really,
like,
because see, this
yeah,
is what I keep feeling, because there are no answers, or they don't want to answer, because we cannot cognize that. So sometimes the answers are not given, and they tell us to man ke chalo, fine. But that is where, not that purposely I'm trying to find the answers over there. I'm trying to find the what is Agyana. No, but this comes in a way when we are reading, because it has been mentioned here.
yeah,
Otherwise, where
it
did I
comes.
know even what is the Agyana?
It
But then
comes, but
it is, yeah,
that is the I will
yeah, but
not call it
then
monkey mind, but it's the mind kind of trying to figure out. So there we
figure
should
out,
just quieten
because
it down.
that's where I feel the main thing would be.
Mm. No, the
Right.
vichara is very good. What we're doing is
Mm.
very good. Just that little bit of when we're having those unresolved questions, that is where the element of shraddha will come in. Is yes, Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwasaha Shraddha. So unless we have that element of Shraddha, because everything in one go we may not be able to understand intellectually, and this is something beyond the intellect. So how can
Absolutely.
we understand it? No, so completely
Mm.
with the intellect, that is not possible. So go with that faith. Yes, this
Yeah.
is what is it. There may be some things which I don't really understand, but it's okay.
Mm.
I'm allowing to let it be. In due course of time, I have the faith that it'll reveal, the truth will reveal itself.
That's right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Thank you.
It's,
Mm.
it said, no, when logical brain is working too much, go opposite of that. You listen music, go into the silence, and you will get the
Mm.
answers also. Because
Right, right.
with,
And
yeah,
I have 2 3 times I have seen, it's Guruji. I don't know. I mean, uh, that connection is there when I have these questions. Like one time, 2 3 times it has happened. Like I have given too much of thought on it, and then next day Guruji would in satsang he would be talking about it. And yesterday I was just laughing. Oh my God, I had this question, and I even said to my friend about Madhvacharya. He has this theory, and then Guruji talks about the same thing. Thank you so much.
We're all one big organism. So it is, yeah, that's possible. And that happens also. So Bela is needing to go. Is there anybody who can share screen? Bela, can you share screen, or you would not be able to share screen also?
Maybe in 5 minutes I will have to leave, so I
Leave,
will
right?
appreciate it. Yeah, yeah.
So is there
So
anybody who can chip in for the next 20 minutes or so?
Yeah, I'll try. Let's share the screen. See, I
Okay,
can share
thanks.
it.
Thank you, Dr. Mara.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. I can do it.
thank you so much. Yeah, I will continue for some time. Yeah.
Okay.
Gurudev, someone asks Gurudev, what is enlightenment? He says, I'll give you enlightenment in 2 minutes, or in a jiffy. And he says, just look at the whole world as without faces. Or every person. Don't put a face to anyone. The problem comes when we get into that nama rupa. When you remove that nama rupa, the world is just that scintillating consciousness. That's it.
Yeah, very, very
If you
beautiful.
have that sambhava, no, it will take uh, time. Seeing
Are you
everyone as
closing it,
you.
Balaji? Is it yours or mine? I don't know.
No, it's
Uh,
still mine only. It is still mine, yes. Should I
okay.
close mine so that you can?
Yeah. Let's see. Let's
Yeah,
see.
just
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Hariom, I just want to share my small understanding about the word reflection. The example given through the sun, the reflection. But my little understanding I have made for myself that it is not the outer sun which is reflected, it is our own inner sun, which through all our inner equipments, through all our sense organs, is reflected when we look at the whole world, whether it is people or situation or surrounding. When our inner sun is lighted, I think we will see everything very clear. We don't need to wait for the reflection of the outer sun. So the surface on which it is reflected, if the surface is clean and antakarana is shuddha, then the whole jagat, you will not find any flaws or anything, whether it is your own self or the others around you. Hari Om.
And in this shloka, Rajju Sarpavadatmanam, the superimposition of the snake on the rope and the fact that the venom is going to poison us, the snake is going to bite us, all that is but an illusion. And that is because of the misapprehension, because of avidya. The moment there is that knowledge that it is only a rope, all that fear, that bhaya, that the pain, the misery, all that we go through, it just disappears. Which is why again and again we need to remind ourselves what Gurudev says in the one of those videos that are shown in the advanced course. It says the world, there is no misery at all. Every time we get into some situation where we're feeling a little miserable or low,
Dr.
we just have to
Brahma,
remind
did I
ourselves.
not get the screen scanned? No, I thought I shared it, but it's not coming.
No, we can't see the screen yet.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, hold on just a second. Oh.
Relax, no issues. If you want me to share, let me know, huh?
Yeah, then I think you go ahead. I mean, this is not working for me. Sorry. I can read it if you want.
Yeah, just give me a minute. I will share the screen. I think we finished the 28th verse. We are now on the 29th verse.
Yes, 29th.
Svabodhe nanya bodhe cha bodharupatayatmanah
न दीपस्यान्यदीपे च यथा स्वात्मप्रकाशने. Swabodhe, to know itself. Na, not. Anya bodhecha, need for other knowledge. Bodha rupataya, because its form is knowledge itself. Atmanaha, one's own. Na, not. Deepasya, for a lamp. Anya deepecha, need for another lamp. Yatha, just as. Swatma prakashane, to illumine itself. Swabodhe na anya bodhecha bodha rupataya atmanah na deepasya anya deepecha yatha svatma prakashane. Yeah, you can go ahead. You're able to see the screen?
A lighted lamp does not need another lamp to illumine its light. So too, Atman, which is knowledge itself, needs no other knowledge to know it. Again, a lighted lamp does not need another lamp to illumine its light. So too, Atman, which is knowledge itself, needs no other knowledge to know it. Light is necessary to see the furniture in the dark room of a house, but to see the very light which illumines the furniture, do we require any other light? We do not call for the aid of any other light to see the very sun that illumines all the objects in the world, because the sun itself is illumination complete. To understand, realize, and experience self, the illuminating light in all our experiences, in fact, in all beings at all times. No other light is necessary, because this self alone is the real, and this self alone lights up the knowledge of the entire creation, known and unknown. This self is the all-awareing consciousness absolute. So, can I read this paragraph just one more time? Yeah. So, light is necessary to see the furniture in the dark room of a house, but to see the very light which illumines the furniture, do we require any other light? But we do not call for the aid of any other light to see. So we do not call for the aid of any other light to see the very sun that illumines all the objects in the world, because the sun itself is illumination complete. To understand, realize, and experience the self. So here is the realize and experience the self, the illuminating light in all our experiences. In fact, in all beings, at all times, no other light is necessary. Because this self alone is the real, and this self alone lights up the knowledge of the entire creation, known. Oh, you're gone somewhere. Known and unknown. The self is the all-awareing consciousness absolute. This self is the all-awareing consciousness absolute. If you remove the furniture, etc., from the presence of the light, so if you remove the furniture, etc., from the presence of the light does not cease to exist. Similarly, even if all the objects in this world, if all our experiences in the waking, dream, and deep sleep states have ended, even then the awareness shall keep on shining as ever before, because the Atman is eternal and self-effulgent. To know this source of all light, no other light is necessary. and we
exactly
can
what
go up.
Veena had shared earlier,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
So she,
Bernal is saying about that. Yeah, here the thing is compared is like how sun illuminates all objects in the world. It doesn't matter like that. The self in us, in being that illuminates everything, all the apparatus, especially the mind and the sense organs. So without
isn't
it,
that
you
true?
know,
Isn't that true? When we wake up from sleep, in sleep, all of them as though dissolve. The world does not exist. It dissolves. But at the moment we
yeah,
wake, it is the light of that awareness that brings in the existence of everything else. So the observer, the person who is seeing is the one who illumines the whole thing.
right. Yeah, that's why he was comparing to the whether you have the objects in the room, like the furniture in the room, the light when you turn on, it reflects on the furniture. But then, even if the furniture is removed, the light still exists. Like that in deep sleep, even though world doesn't exist and all that, the light's still there. Like the Atma is still self-effulgent and it is eternal and that kind of the experience. The outer world of anyone want to share anything? You can go with that.
I couldn't hear what Brahmaraji was saying. Can you please repeat, Brahmaraji?
See, the moment we in sleep, the world of objects, it as though dissolves, right? All this is not existent. I'm talking of deep sleep, not the dream state. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then the moment we wake up, we bring into it is because of that awareness that everything else comes into being, into existence. Otherwise, in deep sleep, they are non-existent for me. Similarly, the example that is given here is whether the objects are there or not, the light is there. The self is there.
Is it because of the awareness must be there? It's just that my mind and intellect is absent in the deep sleep, right? That's why
Correct.
I don't remember the objects,
Correct.
right? But the
That
awareness will be there all the time.
it is there. That is the
Yeah.
one that is even
Hmm.
illumining that deep sleep,
Hmm.
right? That
Correct.
is why you're able to say, when you
Hmm.
get up, you're able to say, oh, I had such a deep sleep. I don't know what happened. Aham
Hmm.
kimapi na janami sukhena maya nidra anubhuyata.
So
If I,
my enlightenment also, I will not even know or even
there's no
cognize it,
vital,
because
which is
there
that
will be
I
no
know.
mind and intellect.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Because you are that knowledge. So that is what was mentioned in the previous paragraphs.
Then when we say when the light is reflected on your vivek buddhi or manachakshu, then they are using mind over here. So see, these are the conflicting things which
So
don't
we
give
don't
me
know where the mind
correct.
is also, right, Bernal? Like we are just kind of saying like manas, buddhi, and all that. All we know structurally, if you say literally, like you take it, your
Mm.
heart or brain and things like that,
Actually,
right?
it's the same energy which does the different
Yeah,
kinds of
exactly.
work.
So the consciousness is one part,
Mm.
is that it's all
Yeah. No,
consciousness.
when we were
And
saying, when in deep sleep, uh, when I come
yeah.
out of it, I don't remember
Mm-hmm.
anything, or the world of objects is not there. So
Right.
when I see that light, which it has to reflect on the manas, right? That is how I will get to know about the self also. But then
Yeah.
what is the how we relate these two things? Because in the current sharira there is no man and buddhi.
You know one
And
place
beyond
we read.
if I have to reach beyond self, to the self, then there won't be any work of man and buddhi, right?
Beyond Karna Sharira doesn't do any of that, right? Because it just
And
created.
no, I'm just thinking like in deep sleep, we might be in the current Sharira, right? Is that, am I right?
Yeah, you're
Anantamaya
not
Kosha.
we are in the current.
So there is no man and buddhi over there.
It's all there, but it's just not, it's all sleeping. That's it. You know, we have our body, organs, everything is there, but we don't realize that we are there,
Absolutely.
right? Because
Yes.
we are
But
sleeping. Yeah.
Rinal, it is with the
Yeah.
mind that you can get there. It is with the buddhi that you can get there. We learned that in, I think, one of the Upanishadic statements. Only through the buddhi, it's the purified and still buddhi where knowledge is gone. So, and
Your
we go
voice
back
is
to
breaking,
definition.
Dr. Brahmara. That
I'm in a room
some of
which,
the words.
yeah,
Okay.
I know. I think the room
Sorry,
where.
sorry. Yeah.
So,
It's okay.
Manas,
Yeah.
what is Manaha? Manaha is Sankalpa Vikalpatmakam Manaha, right? And Buddhi is Nishchayatmika Buddhi. So when we come to these, when we go back to Tattva Bodh and understand the definitions, so it's just a wave of waves and waves of thoughts is the Manas.
Right.
They're changing. So these are not what I am. I think the next verse is about that. Neti, neti,
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Come
All
back
right.
to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in one place we read, I don't know, it's in Atma Bodh or somewhere else. This self is not like where we read like self-effulgent. That's the one eliminating even the Sakshusu, like to the vision or the hearing. It eliminates all these things. That's why we are able to see it, or that's how we seeing this object and things like that. That's how I remember reading so one of the places. I don't know exactly where, but obviously that also one of the things. Anyway, I'll further read it, see we can understand better. The outer world of objects is illumined as long as I am extrovert. Okay. The outer world of objects is illumined as long as I am extrovert. The moment I turn inward and my attention is introvert, I realize that light alone is the real one, which illumines the entire experiences everywhere. Again, I realize that light alone is the real one, which illuminates the entire experiences everywhere, not only in my own bosom, but in the entire world of beings. Okay, not only in my own bosom, but in the entire world of beings. Whatever be the technique which we adopt, we are bound to realize this reality if we faithfully follow the path laid down by the learned sages and experienced seers. The intellect cannot comprehend the one homogeneous whole because it is not the object of cognition. With the telescope, I cannot see myself. I can only see other objects in front of me and round about me. So I can only see the other objects in front of me and round about me. Similarly, so long as the intellect is there, it is indeed very useful to discriminate, to reason out, to analyze, and to understand the objects and happenings in a field other than the intellect itself. Now, when we try to understand the transcendental truth with that limited intellect in an objective way, the intellect is only trying to achieve the impossible, and impracticable as the self is the subject that illuminates the very intellect itself. I'll read this paragraph one more time. It kind of really gives you a lot of stuff. The intellect cannot comprehend. Now, the Mineralogy also asked the question about intellect. The intellect cannot comprehend the one homogeneous whole because it is not an object of cognition. With the telescope, I cannot see myself. I can only see other objects in front of me and round about me. Similarly, so long as the intellect is there, it is indeed very useful to discriminate, to reason out, to analyze, and to understand the objects and happenings in a field other than the intellect itself. There you go. Now, when we try to understand the transcendental truth with that limited intellect is in an objective way. So we try to understand the transcendental truth with that limited intellect in an objective way. The intellect is only trying to achieve the impossible and impracticable, as the self is the subject that illumines the very intellect itself. The self is the subject that illumines the very intellect itself, so that it illumines everything. The gross body is an object of experience. So our body itself becomes an object. Gross body is an object of experience. The subtle mind is something separate from. The subtle mind is something separate from and subtler than this gross equipment. The intellect is still subtler, and yet even this also is an object experienced by us. Very true. When we thus move more and more into the inward chambers in ourselves, we almost reach the subtlest of the thought existence. The intellectual field for the play of our ideas and ideologies, such as I know, I understand, etc. Again, we almost reach the subtlest of the thought existence, the intellectual field for the play of our ideas and ideologies, such as I know, I understand, etc. When these thought waves sleep down, when there is nothing for the consciousness to illumine, at the rare and the sacred moment, you're nearing your answers here. Can you move further, please? The pure consciousness alone remains illuminating itself, as a silent street lamp at midnight stands illuminating itself. In terms of the familiar analogy of the dreamer is none other than the waker. As the dreamer himself, when he wakes up from his dream, rediscovers himself to be the waker. So too, in the supreme plane of self-awareness and bliss, when all duality has ended therein. So too, in a supreme plane of self-awareness and bliss, when all duality has ended therein, when I remain in my own real nature to understand, realize, and experience that bliss of self, Swarupananda. No other illumination is necessary. It is a question of one awakening oneself to the state of God consciousness, the selfhood. So, here is that I'll read the last line. So, let me read this one whole. You want me to read this again, Dr. Brahmana? Or we have time?
Yeah, we have
5 minutes more. Yeah.
Maybe for 2 minutes you can read and then we'll stop. Okay?
Yeah. In terms of a familiar analogy of the dreamer is none other than the waker. As the dreamer himself, when he wakes up from his dream, rediscovers himself to be the waker, so too in the supreme plane of self-awareness and bliss, when all duality has ended therein. So self-aware of, everything is ended. When I remain in my own real nature to understand, realize, and experience that bliss of self, Swarupananda, no other illumination is necessary. It is a question of one awakening oneself to that state of God consciousness, the selfhood. So that they explained in all states, right? In waking state, dream state, and the deep sleep state also. Like everything is sound at sleep, the self illuminating by itself. Like the example is given, a silent street lamp at midnight stands illuminating itself. So please share your thoughts. We have a few minutes.
So I think these few paragraphs have answered all those doubts that we had.
Yes, yes.
Correct? We cannot
Very
understand
nicely.
with
Yeah.
the
Yeah, when you have the question, see the answer is there.
right there.
That's very good,
That is the
Manoj.
grace of the whatever you call
God.
it, God.
Yeah.
Scriptural grace.
You know, in Christianity, you ask for it, you knock on the door, or you get it, or something like that. Some verse there like that. You think about it, there is an answer. How
Yes,
nicely
thank you. Yeah,
explained.
very nicely explained.
Mm, yeah.
And even the
So,
element of, on this path, you follow the
yeah,
Guru and the scriptures.
yeah,
We go. So,
exactly. And also, it mentioned about the extrovert and introvert part, where
right.
you keep looking outside all the time, then we are not going to get much answer. You start looking inside, and then going layer by layer. It's like peeling the onion, or whatever it is. Like you finally find that space.
Yes, very
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
It's like dehusking the paddy. Vivichya
Mm,
kulam yatha.
Tandulam. Yeah. I think the last few, I mean, I wasn't attending, but last few slokas is about Atma. So, whatever the examples given is that.
So we'll stop here today and we'll continue. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
निरुपमनित्यनिरंशकेऽप्यखण्डे मयि चिति सर्वविकल्पनादिशून्ये घटयति जगदीश जीवभेदम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया श्रुतिशतनिगमान्तशोधकानपि अहधनादिनिदर्शनेन सद्यः कलुषयति चतुष्पदाद्यभिन्ना न घटितघटना पडीयसी माया सुखचिदखण्डविबोधमद्वितीयम् वियदनलादिविनिर्मित्ते नियोज्य भ्रमयति भवसागरे नितान्तम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया अपगतगुणवर्णजातिभेदे सुखचितिविप्रविडाद्यहं कृतिं च स्फुटयति सुतदारकेहमोहम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया विधिहरिहरविभेदमप्यखण्डे बत विरचय्य बुधानपि प्रकामम् भ्रमयति हरिहरविभेदभावान् घटितघटना पडीयसी माया त्वघटितघटना पडीयसी माया
Jai Gurudev. Thank you. Shri Guru.